We're going to talk about some unrealistic recruiting expectations, like some entitlement, not being able to answer the phone when coaches or scouts call, and athletes, the whose priorities I think are completely out of order sometimes. Everybody says they want to play college basketball, but are their actions really matching that goal? Some athletes want those offers. They want the attention, man. They want the graphics, the social media recognition, man, but they don't want to communicate. They don't want to put that leg work in, put that, consistent work in, accepting coaching and, or, to be able to handle the responsibilities that come with being recruited. So this afternoon, we're going to get honest about it. Hey, Pablo, man, welcome to Pure Prospects Live. I appreciate you joining me, giving me your time. Before we get into the topic, man, let everybody know who Pablo Cong Jr. is and a little bit about your background and experience working with athletes.
I'm pretty much just a basketball guy, man. I played basketball my whole life, up into the junior college level. I scout right now. I've coached high school basketball, coached on the Under Armour circuit, coached on the Adidas circuit. Um, yeah, no, I got a wealth of experience in like all things pretty much basketball. But currently, like for the last 9 years, I've been a basketball scout. I worked at Puma for 2 years, and I did Made Hoops last year. So yeah, that's the kind of the credibility I bring to the game. Let me close my door
Yeah.
really quick, Cody. Hold on one second.
Yeah, well, I've been scouting since 2015. I've worked with some coaches in Kentucky, out of Kentucky. Now I've got 22 or 23 guys I'm working with. But man, you know, let's start with some unrealistic expectations. You see a lot of guys believe they should automatically receive that D1 offer, but because they all they average that certain number of points, or they play for a successful team, or they had a few good games during the summer. Where do you think these unrealistic expectations are coming from, dude?
Um, I think some of it is just like you said, the numbers, man. Like they think the numbers equate to college scholarship offers and things like that, man, and just lack of education, man. So my thing more so, man, I think what kids need to understand is that, when somebody's trying to help you, what I mean, don't burn the bridge. You know what I mean? Because it's too much of that going on. But yeah, no, so I'll just stay on the topic of what you're saying. Yeah, no, I think, kids just need to understand that, everybody pretty much can score the basketball. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Scoring is one of the biggest attributes in basketball, right? But like if you're not doing it at a super duper elite level, that doesn't always equate to a college scholarship offer, so
Yeah, I talked
yeah.
about it on the podcast last night, man. Or actually, I think I did a live yesterday. I was talking about it. You might be that 20-point scorer, but man, college coaches want to know how you get that 20 points. Are you efficient, man? Are you scoring over
Yeah,
weaker defenders? Like it's a big difference, getting those 20 points against college level length, playing against weak high school opponents, things like that. But I
for
also
sure.
think some of it comes from comparisons in social media, man. They might see somebody else receive a big offer that they play with, and but they don't see everything that's happening behind the scenes for that teammate that they're working with. They may have a different person they're working with, academic profile. Like it's each player is so different. They have their own race. Like they might understand more about the recruiting process than just there's more than getting an offer than scoring on the basketball court. Like let's be honest, man. I mean, you have to be a professional off the court just as well. And if you don't understand how recruiting works, like you need to get with somebody that can help guide you, or if your high school coach or your AAU coach, isn't helping, man, you need to get out and go somewhere else if your goal is really to play college ball.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of that plays into it as well. I think kids kind of get pigeonholed and stuck with, you know, either get stuck with somebody who's not really helping them, who claims that they're helping them, or just different things can happen. And I think that's a lot of what I'm seeing right now is, I'm saying a lot of these kids are represented by different agents or agencies that's
Yes.
helping them or supposedly helping them do these things, and they're not getting any traction anywhere. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like lip service. So I think getting with the right person, definitely will make sense. It definitely makes a difference. It can make a difference in your recruitment. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
Because I
Man,
know
I
there's
see
a
I
lot of
see
the
these
people I
kids.
deal with.
Yeah, man.
Go
I'm
ahead, go ahead.
working with this. I'm working with this one agency. I'm like, all right. So how much do they communicate with you? Well, I haven't heard from them in a month. Really? Well, I don't know what kind of help that is. Like that's wild. Like if somebody hasn't
That's
communicated with
why
you within a month, like somebody took your
that's
money,
not
and I'm sorry.
representation.
I'm sorry to tell you that, but I don't think you just
Yeah,
go
that's
for
not
some rare
representation.
agency because man, there's this. It's so saturated with agencies, man. Like, if you're gonna go with the agency, whoever you go with, check their credibility, man. Ask about their past, ask about their connections, ask about what they can do for you, and let them show you what they can do. Like, they should be able to show you, hey, this is this player. This, what we're gonna do. Your email campaigns. I've got these. I got this database.
Yeah,
I can pick up the phone and call these coaches. Like if these people can't do that, like why are you sending people
yeah,
your money that cannot do these things?
yeah. That just that kind of blows my mind because if, like you said, if these guys aren't laying out a plan for you, you know what I'm saying, and like you understanding and knowing what the plan is, it's like it makes no sense. So I think the education piece just needs to be there when it comes to that kind of stuff, and kids need to really just be informed on how to move in this day and age, you know what I mean, because some people, they just get excited just because somebody reached out to them, you know what I mean, oh, an agent reached out to me or whatever. But is this the right agent, you know what I mean, for you and your situation, you know what I'm saying, because it's so late in the game right now, you know what I'm saying, and like kids are trying to, what I mean, get to school and stuff, and they just aren't being realistic about things. You know what I mean? Like, I get DMs all the time. It's like, oh, can you help me get into a school? I'm like, it's August. You know what I'm saying? I can do my best, but I can't promise you anything. You know what I'm saying? So, in a lot of these schools, the rosters either already full, or like they don't have any NIL money, and it's just so many things that's factoring into it that it's like, man, it's a headache. It's like, why would you contact me in August? Why wouldn't you tell me this in July? you know, or June or something like that. So I don't know, man.
Man,
The
I had a
education piece just isn't there, man, and we just need to
man, I
help
had a
these kids.
23-year-old from Europe hit me up on Sunday. 23. He's like, man,
Mhm.
I see you can make some moves for me. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I need to be in the school. I need to be in the school now. And I'm like, school's just started. And he's like, man, but can you think you can help me? And I was like, that's probably impossible. And then I was like, what about your I-20 and your visa? He didn't even have those. And I was like, there's no possibility I can get you anywhere. You don't have your visa. You have no paperwork. I'm like, and it's not like he was a high school kid, he was a 23-year-old kid. I was like, I don't know if somebody's, and he said he had an agent that was helping him, and they hadn't done anything for him. It goes back to those people. And I'm like, and then you reach out to me, like, like my hands open, like, there's no way anybody could probably get you in school right now. School's done started. There's no way you can enroll, and then you don't have your visa. What's that going to take 3 or 4 weeks to get? And then the I-20 paperwork. Like you got to have all that paperwork together for those international kids. So it's just like I don't
Yep.
know what agency he was working with. Had no idea about any kind of that paperwork, getting his visa together. Like they didn't even get him to have that put together. Like I just don't
Yeah.
understand like how some people get in this lane.
I don't know, man. They get in the lane for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the dollar sign. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the bottom line and the goal should always be to help these kids. You know what I'm saying? Not how much you can line your pockets. But everybody don't think like that. So I see agencies and agents and things like that, man. That stuff like that happens because they already have kids that they're working with that they've gotten
Mhm.
paid from, and they're comfortable, so they realize or figured out that they don't have to really work hard for the rest of the kids, you know what I mean, that need something, and it's late in the game too, so they can say, hey, it's late in the game, and just not do anything, you know what I mean, and still profit off these kids. So I don't know, man. It's a crazy time, man, that we living in this basketball space, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man, it's competitive. And another thing, like a reality check is, man, interest isn't an offer anyway. Like somebody follows you on X, that's not an
Nope.
offer. Camp invitation, that's
Yeah.
not an offer. A coach coming to watch one game, that's not an offer. I mean, those can be positive signs, right? But they don't guarantee anything. Like
No.
when does attention receiving like does the match the level that they expected like when should an athlete do when the attention they're receiving doesn't match? What should they do when it doesn't match what they expected, man? Like,
I mean, just continue to do the things that you've done to, pretty much draw that coaching staff in. Just continue to do the same things, you know what I'm saying? And just stay solid in what you do and communicate as if, you know what I mean, like you're just moving like a regular human being. Like you're not begging or looking for the offer, but you're just being yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're just being a nice, respectful young man or young woman, you know what I'm saying? And those are the type of things that, can make all the difference in the world. And maybe the coach staff, maybe they might start recruiting you heavily. Who knows? But I mean, it's so situational nowadays too, man, because it's like you just never know because these guys come watch you, you thinking that they're really interested, but they might go get an older player or something. So it's a tough space to navigate right now, man. It really
you,
is.
you I think they shouldn't give up, but you have to find somebody that's going to give you an honest evaluation, and you have to be able to respond to that evaluation with work. Like you're probably going to hear some things you don't want to hear, more than likely. Somebody has to be straight shooter
For
with
sure.
you. You can't become angry. You can't blame your coach, your team, the media, or anybody that's really trying to help you. Man, you need to ask on what you really need to improve on. Somebody who's going to work with you, man. You need to find somebody that's going to push you, and put together a real plan to attack those areas, man. An honest eval can hurt your feelings, and it probably will, but it's going to save your recruitment, man. It's going to push you, and if you're really trying to get to your goals, like that's what you need, man. If you want to hear somebody tell you what you want to hear, those people are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was talking to a kid from Spain today, and he hit me up and asked me about his game and all that stuff. I was like, "Send me the film." He sent me the film, and I gave him an honest eval. And he was just like, he was really appreciative too. He was like, "Man, nobody's never told me that before." Like you're really honest. I was like, "That's what I'm here for." You know what I'm saying? Like I don't why wouldn't anybody tell you that, you know what I'm saying, you need to pass the ball more. You know what I'm saying? Like you shoot the ball entire from the clips I see at least, you know what I'm saying? I said, send me a full game. I watched the full game and this kid is shooting the ball like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine if that's what his coach wants to let him do or whatever. But I'm like, well, what's your game type? Like, do you that what you're looking for or whatever? Because I'll tell you, like, at the next level, it's going to be hard. You know what I mean? Because I don't see a lot of separation in your speed and first step and being able to separate to get these shots off at the next level. So you're going to have to work on, counters and different things like that. And I just think that, just being honest with these kids, man, and giving them an honest eval is the best thing that you could possibly do. You know what I mean? Like, don't sugarcoat anything, man. 'Cause these kids need to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? They need to hear the truth because as adults, we want to hear the truth, right? Like, I want to hear the truth. Somebody tell me, like, hey, Pablo, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, if that's your truth and that's what you really feel, I can take that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take constructive criticism any day over, over it being sugar coated about anything. So, yeah.
And a bit of advice: it's constructive criticism, and my grandpa and my dad always told me, if you cannot take constructive criticism, you're never going to grow up. Like you're going to have to hear things you don't want to hear, but it's going to help make you grow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
mean, you're
sure.
from the
For sure. For
military. I
sure.
bet you heard so many things in the military you didn't want to hear, buddy.
Oh yeah, I was just about to make that point too. I mean, spending 23 years in the army, I remember just going through, boot camp and just different schools I've been to. And it's like, you know, a lot of that stuff that you heard, it wasn't even constructive criticism. It was just downright criticism and abuse. You know what I'm saying? But it made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? It definitely made me stronger. And it made me understand what this was about. And I knew it was a mental game. And, they were trying to push you, but they were just, using, profanity and, negative things they were saying, to basically push you. And that's how they pushed you through the military. So, like I said, I'm okay with constructive criticism all day. So these kids they gotta do the same, man. They gotta have thick skin, and if they're gonna ask the question, man, they gotta be able to receive the answer in the right way.
Something else that blows my mind. We were talking about this on through text. A kid says they want to be recruited, but a coach calls, a scout calls, no answer on the phone. They won't return the call. They don't respond to the text. They won't even. I don't leave voicemails, but a few weeks later, they'll hit you up. Man, why is my recruitment slowed down? Or what do I need to do? Well, first off, you need to start communicating. Like communication, man. Like you can't build relationships, and I'll tell you this till I'm blue in the face, man. Recruiting is about relationships, and you can't build relationships if you don't communicate. Like it's almost impossible. Unless you're a 4 or 5 star kid that everybody wants and you can just show up when you want to, then I don't know what to tell you. Like I wouldn't expect to play college basketball if that's really how you're going to communicate and build relationships. That simple.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I mean, you absolutely 1000% right. You know, what I mean, you can't, reach out to a Pablo or a Cody and beg for help. And then when they get these schools start calling you, you say, "Oh, I'm not interested." You're not even in a position to not be interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? And now we have to now, and this is where, what I'm saying, not only does it get frustrating, but this is where, constructive criticism is thrown out the window, and now it's time to get brutally honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not even in a position to deny anything. You know what I mean? So, even if you have to do something like that you really don't want to do, like i.e. like I want NIL money, but the school doesn't have NIL money left. You know what I mean? We could figure it out on the back end, or go walk on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why wouldn't you take it and then just go prove what you're worth? You know what I'm saying? And then get, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then get to where you want to be on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is promised. You know what I'm saying? You could go out here and pass away, God forbid, and it's like you done passed up an opportunity for what? Because of your pride and your ego? That don't make any sense to me, man. And that's where, I had a conversation today where I had to be brutally honest with a kid. It's like, you're not even in a position to deny anything. Like, seriously. So you tell me you want to play basketball. Well, show me how bad you want to play basketball. You know what I mean? Because I had two coaches call you and you didn't answer the phone and you just basically told them that you wasn't interested. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. You know what I mean? And the thing about it too is like, if I didn't have, like, whoever we talking about, right? If I didn't have credibility with these schools, you know what I'm saying, and hadn't helped them in the past, my credibility would be shot. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Hmm.
understand sometimes too, as a prospect, it's not just your name riding on things. You know what I'm saying? It's the people who refer you too. You know what I'm saying? It's the people who's looked out for you, the people that you know what I mean? It's your family and everything, bro. You don't want to be, labeled as something negative when you don't have to be.
Yeah, man. That's huge. Like I don't know if it's like entitlement, not being responsible, or they really don't know how important that opportunity is. Like I understand, like a lot of kids want to go D1, man. But if you're a high school kid now, dude, any offer right now is huge. I don't care how big, how small it is. Take it and run with it, dude. Like you can always go up. And another thing, man, coaches are busy, dude. Like I'm busy, but the coaches I talk to are 10 times busier than me. They're trying to recruit multiple players by trying to manage their team and handling families. These assistants at D3s, they got other jobs, dude. So they're not always
Yeah.
going to just keep calling if you refuse to communicate, man. You're going to burn that bridge. Like that bridge will be gone. And another thing is the coaching community is really small. So if that coach is like, man, this kid, like whatever, like trust me, he's worked at other places and he's built relationships at other coaches at other schools and like, man, you probably should stay away from this kid because hey, they're entitled or they don't want to communicate, they're not responsible, they're not showing they're mature.
Yeah.
Like I'm questioning their character. So you're burning more than one bridge. Like you could burn that coach's bridge, the person helping you's bridge, and bridges that you don't even see out there ahead of you.
Yeah. No, that's a fact, man. And that's and I always say that, what I mean, it's about, and I keep saying using the word education, it's about educating these kids. And it's like some of the stuff is common sense, you know what I mean? Like how much, how many times does somebody need to tell you like, hey, don't burn a bridge? Or how many times somebody need to tell you to just be a good human being, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like it just blows my mind, man, that this stuff happens. It really does.
One thing in my pet peeve is disrespect. Like I think if you're not a straight shooter, I'm very disrespectful if you don't straight shoot me. And another thing
Yeah.
is like hey, I want this or something. Okay, I'm gonna reach back out to you. And I've had a couple people hit me up, call me, keep me on the phone for 30 minutes or an hour, and that's probably my fault. I should get off the phone, but hey, I text you, hey, I need some help. I need some help. Okay, well, I'm gonna call and talk to you, talk to your parents. and they just keep giving you the runaround. And I'm trying not to be a butthead, but dude, I don't have an hour to spend on the phone with somebody that's not really serious about this. Like, I really don't. It's cool to hear about your
Yeah.
story and your past stories, but like, I don't have time for that, man. I really don't. Like, I don't know about you, but like, if you're not serious about this, then find something else you want to do in life, man. Like, if just find something
Amen.
else. And if you think you're D1 or bust, like, you better find something else to do in life, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be really hard, and coaches aren't going to chase you forever. So, like you said, man, I know if a coach calls you in class or practice or work, that's different. That's a different
Hmm.
situation, but you can return that call, right? Send a respectful text message. Hey, missed your call. I'm available this evening. But if you call somebody and asking for help, be ready or be serious. Like, don't call and pussyfoot them around, or like yada yada
Sure.
yada. And another thing, don't expect something that's really valuable to be free. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't walk
Hmm.
off in Walmart and try to pick up a smart TV and walk out with it and like, let me get that, bro. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that's very
Yeah.
disrespectful. I just really do.
Yeah. No, I agree with that totally, man. I mean, I feel like, as a man and as a human being, you should want to work for everything anyway. So, I
Exactly.
mean, and the truth is, what I mean, everybody doesn't feel like that, and that's fine. But in a space like basketball, man, like that's only going to do you well. You know what I'm saying, in life. You know what I'm saying, if you adopt the mentality of working for everything that I get. But we in an instant gratification time right now in the world where it's like, hey, I want this, and this. It's like it's crazy, and you want everything up front, but you haven't done anything. You just relying on your resume, and sometimes your resume just ain't that good. It's not
That
good
Chat
enough.
GPT
And
resume,
that's just the
right?
truth.
That
Yeah,
Chat
yeah,
GPT resume. Cook it up real quick, and
yeah,
yeah, man. And it's that
yeah.
microwave society, and man, I think social media has really, created that. You see all these things, and especially we're talking about entitlement. You know, you think some kids out there think coaches should know who they are already, and they think these programs should offer them without building a relationship. Not showing up at their camp, sharing film, or even proving they can really help their program. What's some
Yeah.
entitlement things that you see in the recruiting environment now?
I mean, just I would say some entitlement things. Just automatically thinking that who you're affiliated with, i.e., who you playing with, or the people will get you kind of ahead on the recruiting trail or whatever, and things like that, and just thinking that like I'm the best player in this tournament or whatever. Maybe the tournament is weak or whatever, thinking that that's going to automatically equate to college scholarships offers or even getting recruited. And just man, I just feel like kids nowadays, man, are just they just be on some other stuff, man. For real, for real,
Man,
for
I've
real.
seen
But
some,
yeah, oh, go ahead.
expecting an offer because their teammate gets one, or hey, man, I don't want to talk to an
Hmm.
assistant coach. I'm only going to talk to a head coach, or hey, man, that school ain't big enough for me. Man, I'm not going to go there because I don't think I'm going to get playing time, attention, or the
Yeah,
opportunity, or
or the location of the school.
yeah, I need to be an
Yeah,
hour from home. I had one family hit me up, dude.
yeah.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I had one family hit me up, and I'm like, so what's his goals? One school, a D1 school, and that was it. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, oh boy. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not Santa Claus, man. I mean, hey, I really respect you, and I had to talk to them, and they had to be understanding of, in today's recruiting landscape with everything going on, like, you can't just pick the school you want to go for. Like, this is not even with academics, man. I mean, if you're willing to pay, but just to make a roster is a miracle. And like I said, I think on a live, colleges they're evaluating more than talent. Like, you might be that top player on your team. in the region, in the district. But how are you getting your stats? Like, what else are you doing? Just because you're scoring the ball, man, doesn't mean it translates to the next level. Are you versatile, man? Like, do you understand spacing? I mean, do you know how to make correct reads? Like, are you playing defense? Like, I had Coach
Yeah.
Brian Shaw last night from Bethany. He's a D3. He said he was watching some film of this one kid. Man, he could light it up, right? And his highlights from three. They pulled out game film, and he said he would move about 4 foot on defense, and they just had to shut the film off because he wouldn't he wouldn't do anything on defense. He said, he was a heck of a shooter, but you know, you get on defensive side and like snowbird, and he said wouldn't even hardly move and just ready for offense again.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you got to ask
That's
somebody
why I
like,
say, like, you know, game film matters. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, a highlight tape is a highlight tape. It's your highlight, it's your best stuff that you're doing on the court. But what else can you do? Like you said, you know what I mean? And that's why I always, when I talk to kids, I'm like, yo, send me a copy of a game. You know what I'm saying? Not just your highlights, because I mean, I get the highlights. You know what I mean? Or you working out? I need to see a game. Like, I want to know
you know
what you
what I've been
do. You
struggling to
actually do.
get.
Like,
You know
what?
what I've been struggling to get? Game film. Like
Yeah.
I've been having to,
Yeah.
like it's crazy. Like how can you not have game film when you have huddle now? You got all these cameras. Like every parent has a phone. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how somebody. I don't understand how a family wants to go play college basketball, but has no game film. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to have some type of game film, and it has to be recent, man. You can't have it if you're a senior. Well, all I got's my freshman and sophomore year. That's worthless.
Yeah.
Honestly, you might as well take that and throw it in the
Mm-hmm.
garbage because you've done grown. You should have done grown as a player. Like you need recent film and game film. Yeah, highlights are cool. You can post on your Insta, but you need to have highlights that are versatile. Like if you're a shooter, that's cool. Show that off. If you got the athleticism, dunk. But you need to show a couple clips of how you pass the rock, how you can defend, like what kind of motor you have. Like you have to have a clip that's something versatile. And if you don't have that, you better have game film. Like if you just got a clip of
Yeah.
dunks and threes, like that's really not going to get you far because then the coach is going to have to come watch you play. Because the next question is going to be, I need a link to that game film or send me some game film. And when you don't have that, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to hit a roadblock right there, man. That's a roadblock right there for your
Yeah, for
recruitment.
sure.
So if you're anybody's listening, have game film ready, no matter if it's for a coach, scout, media, somebody that can move your film for you, or just for yourself, man. Like make sure you have that ready, and if you don't have that ready, get out there and find a way to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely 100% agree to that. And before we go too, man, I just wanted to just bring something up too. Um this is completely off topic, but since we're on video, I think I'll just put it out there. But
Let's
I just
go.
wanted to say congratulations to Cody. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but you're like number 32 on Substack as far as like writers and stuff like that. Like they did some kind, I've just seen it today. They did some kind of like rankings or whatever, and you're number 32, and it's millions of people on Substack, man. And that's a testament to how hard you work, and you do this for the right reasons, and you're doing it for the kid, man. So I wanted to just tell you, man, that's a gift from God. You know what I'm saying? We both godly men. Keep working, don't stop. I'm always in your corner to help with whatever. And it was funny because I got the alert today and it says, Pablo Kong, Scout Pete Kong Substack is like number 92. I was like, word? I was like, oh wow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where's my boy Cody at? I said, let me look up pure prospects. And you were like 31 or 32 or something like that, man. And we're talking about out of millions of people, man. So that's just, man, salute to you, bro. Your grind is different, bro. You work your butt off. Like I said, you do it for the right reasons, man. And I hope everybody hears this. You know what I'm saying? From one brother to the next. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do. I think you are in it for the right reasons. I'll keep saying that. You're helping.
Yes,
You're
sir.
helping grow the game in all the areas that it needs to grow in. I think your writing is impeccable. Your interviews are great. You ask some really thought provoking questions, man. Sometimes I'd be like, I'd be looking at you when you ask me questions like, damn, Cody, I didn't even prepare for that type of question. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. You know what I
We
mean?
can't have
So keep
softballs,
doing,
man.
yeah, nah, for real, for real. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, cause I think, the right people are noticing that, man, and you putting everybody on notice, man, that you here to work. So I appreciate you, man, and I always appreciate jumping on here with you, bro.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're gonna hop back on at 2:30, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll be back at 2:30, and then at 10 o'clock tonight, I got Coach Muggs from Tri Cities Academy and Tennessee Impact on 3SSB. We're going to talk about 3SSB. We're going to talk about Tri Cities. That's in East Tennessee. And then big news, I got Trey Thompson, Iowa, sophomore, forward,
Okay.
6'8", Sunday.
Yeah.
Charlie Pack from KCU, Kentucky Christian University. He'll be on Friday morning, tomorrow morning. So Friday morning, I'm gonna have on Charlie Pack from KCU, the head coach. Sunday, Trey Thompson. He's a former Greenville man. He reclassed out of 27 into 26. He had
Yeah.
offers from Connecticut, Purdue, like everywhere, and
Tennessee, Purdue.
Tennessee.
Yeah, he was highly
Yeah,
recruited.
Vandy, yeah. So he's going to be on talk about we're going to talk a few things about probably his reclass, how his freshman year went, what's his expectations there at Iowa this season. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be my first D1 guy, first Power Four interview. So I'm pretty excited about that. And again, 10 o'clock tonight, Stack, I'm gonna have Coach Mugg Smith on. We're going to be talking about some academy basketball in East Tennessee. He's got some nice guys. He's got a 7 foot Australian kid, man. He's nice. Ash Fernandez, and he's also got Justin Aquinboa. He just picked up an offer from High Point. He was down at their camp
Okay.
recently this past weekend. Dude, he's 6'8", man. He's tough. So I think Justin's going to come on too recently. He's just been overseas playing in China, doing a few things with his agency Rise. So yeah, man, we got some things going on. But if you're out there listening, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Me and Pablo will be back at 2:30. We're gonna whip up something for you
Sir.
guys, but it'll be very useful. But Pablo, man, thank you so much for coming on. I know you got something to do, but we'll be back at 2:30, my guy.
Absolutely, bro. Thanks for
Hey,
having me,
man,
bro.
congrats to you for being in the top 100 or even being ranked on Substack, dude. I forgot to say that,
Appreciate
man.
you,
That's
bro.
that's just accomplished yourself. That I mean, just to be ranked on there
Yeah.
is tough. And the biggest thing is, man, some people don't even know what Substack is. And I think in the next 5 years, like Substack's going to be
Yeah.
huge.
It is. It is. It is,
It's
man.
like already
Nah, I
the number
appreciate
one,
you,
or
bro.
isn't it like the number three app in like writing and stuff right now? Like it's
Yeah.
grown so
Yeah,
much.
for sure. Definitely,
But
bro. It's a great
w-
platform.
But man, I think Caleb asking you're on here. That's another thing that I want, man. If people aren't viewing, shoot some questions or comments to us, man. I would love to interact with the people that are watching. Like
For
any
sure.
kind of questions. So if you're going to come back on at 30, man, have some questions ready or some comments, something. Like we'll interact with you and looking forward to that. Oh, we might talk at 2:30 about the Kyle Singler deal at Duke. Maybe you have some info on that
Okay.
since you're a Duke guy, because I don't know. That stuff seems crazy to me. Oh man.
There you
I'm a
go.
Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky dude. So, oh man, this is crazy. But man, I'll see you at 2:30. For everybody else watching, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting Pure Prospects and Pablo Cong Jr. We'll see you guys at 2:30.
All right,
Peace
my
out,
brother.
Pablo.
Peace.